Thanks for coming. My name is Tom Cochran. I help run cornerbroker.com. And thanks for coming out. This is something that I wanted to do for a while, and hopefully we'll do more of as more stuff comes up, more actual physical events where readers, members of the... You can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
No, I think there's somebody with their top.
I can hear you, but the mic's not on. Yeah, I can hear you, but not.
How about that? Thanks, Donna. So, we're going to get started really quickly. I just want to say a couple thank yous, mostly to Brewed for giving us this lovely little cozy space, to the CBC and Western Star for giving us a little bit of advertising, and a huge thank you to Terry Randall and the Granville College Student Union for donating this sound gear. So, well, why don't we get started? This is Jordan Stringer. He'll be your moderator for this evening.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Tom. And I guess before we get started, I'd also like to say thanks to Tom and cornerbroker.com for a chance to do this. This is my first time doing something like this. Looking forward to it. All right, so I think how we're first going to start is just start at one end of the line and go down the line and open it up to about a minute or so of opening remarks or comments, just an introduction. So Gary, take it away.
Thanks very much. Well, you know, I have a minute to tell you a little bit about myself tonight. And that's not very much time. And I'm not quite sure what Tom was thinking when he only gave us a minute, to be quite honest with you. I mean, where do you start? Where do you go? What do you say about yourself, your campaign platform? You know, I guess that might cause a lot of angst for some people. That's very old school. You know, because another perspective, that's an old perspective. A new perspective is that a minute is an eternity. And a minute is a lifetime, because you know what? In a minute, I can say GaryKelly.com. In a minute, I can say, hit me up on Twitter, @GaryKelly. In a minute, I can say, Facebook.com/CornerBrook. Take all the time you want to get to know me between now and March 16th. I'm Gary Kelly, and I'd like to be your new voice on Corner Brook City Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Alton?
Well, I'm Alton Whalen. I came with a kind of a prepared speech, like everybody else. Kind of throwing hearts, by the way. How about that? So I'll make it brief. I was previously spent 8 years on council. So at that time, I was known as the person who asked the hard questions, who wasn't afraid to ask for answers, accountability. I haven't changed. That's one thing I will want to do as a councillor. And I pledge, if I do get elected, to be a strong representative. I also want to commit that this time, some of the things I'd like to bring forward as part of my platform at this point in time is that I'm looking at housing from the point of view of generating opportunities to provide new residential housing projects, post-secondary student housing, and for seniors. That's what I'm under housing. Another thing that I would like to do is business stimulation, and we went into a long discussion on that last night, but I said basically what business discussion stimulation that I want to do is, let's not reinvent the wheel. We've got things here that we can use, i.e. natural resources. We've got a port. We've got people who are willing to work. Let's use that and work on that, not have to go out, like I used the analogy last night, go out and get someone to come in and build a widget factory, find out how to make the widgets, and then find a market for it. There's markets for wood products if you want to use that, for instance, or maybe secondary products from the paper miller, or even from the fishing industry. It's all in their area. Don't have to go looking for it. Another thing I'm looking at is fiscal planning. I believe we need to create sustainable and manageable budgets that won't overburden our taxpayers. Also, infrastructure. We've got to set priorities in the infrastructure, what we're going to do with infrastructure. And last but not least is the environment. We've been 6 years now collecting recyclables in the recycling program. All we've collected so far is paper and paper products. That's it. Now, I feel we should expand that. We can, and do it very slowly. We don't have to jump in tomorrow morning, start taking plastics, bottles, and cans, but we can take one product this year, another year. But the other thing is the household hazardous waste. We have these programs twice a year. Both times that we have them, they're oversubscribed. People come there by 10:30 in the morning, they're full, they can't take any more. People go home with the stuff they were trying to get rid of. For instance, paint, used propane. I'd like to see council look at setting up a permanent household hazardous waste site within our waste management area, and then perhaps every 2 weeks we can go, and then once we get some of the product, we ship it out. So that's what I'm asking. So I'm just looking for, I'm respectfully asking you to give me your vote on the Article 16.
Thank you, Alton. And June.
Hello, good evening, and thank you. I believe that this feels like a continuation of our forum on Monday evening, and I know many of us will reference some of the comments that we made on that night. I'm really pleased to be here, and thank you for allowing us to continue the discussion, the conversation. For those who don't know me, I'm June Altine, and I always say that because I think I'm just a little bit of a fixture around town. I've been involved in this community for 25 years. Many of you may know me from my experience on the school board, where I've served for almost 20 now, for over half of that as chair, and in all capacities on the executive. I'm a tireless volunteer in this community. I also own Municipal Foods, which is a bulk natural food store, and you may know me from that, or the little radio show that I do on a weekly basis with CFCB. I decided to offer myself to serve on the council of Brook because I'm committed to the community, and I believe that I've demonstrated that through my years of experience. I'm committed in a number of ways in that I have a lot of practical experience serving on boards, but also as a business person, I understand the intricacies of finance and balancing the budget, managing the money, and so on. You know, in business, particularly small business, you have to get it right every day, just about every time. And I do believe that that kind of dedication to a cause gives me the experience that I can bring to council to offer some of the wisdom that I might have accumulated over the years. Just for your attention briefly, I'll tell you that I focused on a number of issues in my literature, which I've spread out this evening, and in my conversations with people. I'm certainly committed to a flourishing environment that utilizes resources sustainably and effectively. I've been involved in the Downtown Business Association and hope that we can revitalize that area of our community. Certainly housing and busing and the environment all work together when we look at the facilities that our post-secondary educations here in this city have to offer. And we recognize that education is a business, and that too is a consideration and something that we'd like to develop to make our community worthwhile. Let me just stop here and sum up by saying that my vision of Corner Brook is a thriving city where stakeholders and residents work collaboratively together to achieve a better quality of life for everyone. And that's not just taxpayers and seniors and young people, but we have to be an inclusive community that includes all of us in finding the services and meeting the needs of the residents in the community of Corner Brook. So thanks for your consideration, and I hope you'll enjoy this evening's conversation.
Thank you very much, Jim. Okay.
Thank you guys for coming out here this evening, and thanks to Tom for that Canadiana. I got 2 shots going there, so if I start rambling, I don't know why. You know, I'm a businessman also, so I understand business, and I also run an environmental company. I dedicated my life to environment, and I'm strong on those issues, and I'm outspoken on those issues. A lot of times behind closed doors, I see a few councillors back there. They hear from me from time to time, and they know that I'm working behind the scenes here on a lot of things, and I have a lot of passion. And you know, I'm a big accountability guy. You know, I think that transparency. I think that, you know, we've got a lot of things in the city that you know, are coming up. You know, and we got issues that we're dealing with, transit and the roads and wastewater and all these things. And I think, you know, you really only have 3 choices if you really think about it. You know. And, you know, the first one is you know, raising taxes. Nobody wants to raise taxes, and I can guarantee you council don't want to raise taxes. So, you know, that's one thing that we don't want to see. But we have all these things coming down the line, and and nobody wants to rob Peter to pay Paul. You know, you don't want to take from one service to put in another. You're not really accomplishing anything that way. You know, so you know, I think that if you can get a hold on, and I got a clear plan for that, if you can get a hold on accountability and transparency, and then you can get a hold of a lot of this waste. And waste is a big thing, and you know, I spend a lot of time talking to contractors, people that deal with this city. They know there's a lot of waste going on. A lot of it comes from inside senior management, and there's really no controls over it. And these sort of people that bring the information to council, and you know, they're not going to council telling them that, oh yeah, I'm wasting this and I'm wasting that. Council has to go dig a little deeper, do a little bit of harder work, you know. And you know, if you can really get a hold on this waste, you know, and I've been talking to unions, and I mean, these guys know, they got no axe to grind. They can tell you numerous things about waste. Different contractors. There's so much waste in this city, and that's where we need to be putting our focus, waste. And if we can get a hold of the waste, then we got money to use for our transits and our roads and this kind of stuff. So I think that's the best option. That's where I'm at. I'm going after transparency and accountability.
Okay, thank you, Trent. Tara.
Hi, sorry, I sound like a little bit like a seal. As you can tell, I'm a little cold. My name is Tara Shanahan, and just to give you a little bit about myself, I'm a journalist by trade, broadcast journalist. I worked for about a decade in radio and TV media, and then just the last few years actually switched gears a little bit and started to work in marketing, so marketing, communications, PR, things of that sort. And mostly in the tourism sector for Western Newfoundland. I have two beautiful little girls, and that's really more or less why I'm running, because they're the future of Corner Brook. And I want Corner Brook to reach its full potential for all of our children. And I also would like to see, you know, young people who have left and who are here coming back and staying in Corner Brook and having their families, and then those children staying as well and growing our population. There are a few items on my platform that are kind of near and dear to my heart. I think it is imperative that we have a sewage treatment facility here in Corner Brook. I also think that we should expand and improve our curbside recycling program and have that to include composting. And also we should have incentive programs for contractors who would like or who are interested in developing affordable housing, and also incentive programs for people who are studying and would like to come back and would like to stay in Corner Brook and therefore be employed and help out with the economy that way. I'm young, I'm going to admit that. I don't know everything there is to know about the city. I'm not a math person, I don't know much about business. I'm a marketing person, and that's what I bring to the table. I'm dedicated to Corner Brook. I love Corner Brook. I was raised here, I grew up here, I went to Regina before I went away for school. I'm back here now, living with my husband and my two girls and my dog and my mother. It's a big house. So, you know, I'm looking for your vote on March 16th. I'm not going to pussyfoot around the issues. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. If you want to, you know, you want the honest opinion, the honest truth, then I'm going to give you that. And if you like the answer, great. If you don't, well, sorry, maybe you should have asked me. And if you ask all my family and friends, they'll be like, don't ask Tara. She'll tell you the truth. Then you'll be mad because she's not telling you what you want to hear, and then it's just, oh my goodness. So that's pretty much me. You know, if you know me, you know this is what you see is what you get. There's no airs here. I am as genuine as it can be. So what you're seeing right here tonight is absolutely what you're going to get on council. And you know, I will ask the questions, and I will try to get the answers, and I will not make promises that I can't keep, because that's not realistic. So hopefully, you'll like that, you'll vote for me. Otherwise, you're going to vote for who you want to vote for, and as long as that's who you want to see at council, then that's good for me too. So that's it.
Thank you, Tara. All right.